roll takers and all my dear Smartians. Imagine for a moment that you are completely free. There are no rules, no limitations, nothing. How does it feel? Raise your hands if you think that it's absolutely awesome. Okay, now how many of you think that it's a terrible idea? All right. A few days back, when I was wondering the same thing, let me tell you, I did not want to come out of my imagination because the feeling was quite similar to me floating in a cosmos. Then I asked to myself, what is it that's stopping me from floating in a cosmos? Well, the answer lies in the set of beliefs that was inculcated in me since a very young age and in which religion plays a major part. So today, my dear audience, I will be talking on the topic how religion shapes our life. So basically, religion is a belief system. Let us suppose that you believe God has 4 hands and I believe that God has no hands. So the next day, out of your love towards God, you set up this 100 feet tall statue here in Kathmandu city, obviously with 4 hands. But that looks so ugly to me and I get hurt because God has no hands. That's my belief. So tonight I'll go there and I'll chop off those 4 hands. Now it looks better. Next day, what will happen to you? Well, you will be on your way to chop off my hands, isn't it? So the point is, once I believe what I believe is the truth, naturally I will try to impose it on other people, and that imposition hurts. Sometimes swords have been used, money has been used, every kind of inducement has been used to urge people to follow certain religious rules and traditions. So what religion does is that it makes you confident upon something which is not yet a reality. And oftentimes, confidence without clarity is a disaster. Most of the people in the world still rely on prayers to cure their disease and withhold medical care because they believe that their illness is the result of sins and wrongdoings. Practicing such ancient beliefs interferes profoundly with people's abilities to practice human rights. Homosexuality is still illegal in most of the religious countries, and several of these countries impose death penalty for homosexual behavior. Religion has been used by some as the justification for advocating racism and caste discrimination. In such cases, when stupidity gets stamped by the God, let me tell you, there is no going back. You might have heard of Krishna Bahadur Giri, also known as Siddha Baba, who was earlier accused of rape charges and was later released on bail because he fled from those charges by saying that the woman surrendered her body to him on religious purposes. We've been hearing stories of Muhammad, who married a 6-year-old girl Aisha, and a 7-year-old girl Goma Brahmani was made to marry a 70-year-old man. Now, does this mean that we have a religious license for practicing pedophilia? Religion shifts human perception and takes people far from reality. For instance, ridiculous amount of money has been used on building temples, churches, while people often suffer in poverty. We worship goddesses for their power but fail to honor women, considering them as weak, and impose various restrictions on them. Government in particular has become a fight between competing ideologies rather than a quest to figure out practical, evidence-based solutions that promote well-being. So basically, it suppresses human intellect and prevents social, moral, and scientific progress. Summing up, religion was initially introduced to encourage human cooperation and enforce moral behavior. But now it's training its believers to practice self-deception, shut out contradictory evidence, and trust authorities rather than their own capacity to think. So by infusing all of those God-fearing elements in us, religion has been controlling our lives. Thank you.